So if you clicked on this video, you have one question. How do I get into blacksmithing or bladesmithing? The truth is, it's not as hard as everybody makes it sound. In this video, I'm going to go over where you need to start if you want to get into blacksmithing, how you learn blacksmithing, and how you get better at blacksmithing, along with some other tips, tricks, and other tools that I have used, because as you guys can see, I am also in what we would call a garage shop. So first things first, let's get an introduction out of the way. I'm Todd Koch, and I'm a 17-year-old blacksmith who has been going at it for 3 years. I started in a garage shop with my friend that cost us less than 50 bucks. And to this day, I still work in a garage or shed shop, something really simple. Which brings us to the first part of where do you start when you want to get into blacksmithing? First things first, you're obviously going to need a place to do blacksmithing. You need a place to store your tools to hit metal, and somewhere that's also safe for you to practice this without hurting anyone. Now, a common misconception I hear every time that somebody wants to start blacksmithing is they just don't have a place, because people always think you need a bigger place than you do, really. Look at me, I am in a lifetime plastic shed with a 4x10 foot floor space, and I have everything I need in here to make high quality knives and tools. If you really are determined, you can find a place to do this, especially if you have your own property, or if you're a minor and you get to mooch off your parents like I do. I would say the two most common and honestly best places to start blacksmithing are in a shed like this, or in a garage. Now when it comes to tools, you're only going to really need 4 tools to start, I would say. One is hammers. If you're planning on forging, you are going to need these bad boys because hitting the metal with your hand is not very pleasant. To continue with tools, you can make so many tools. I've already put up some tutorials on beginners blacksmithing tools. I'll link to that up here. You can make all of these by hand and save yourself a crap ton of money. I'll also give you guys the link up here to my rebar tong video, which is a great alternative to buying tongs, which can be up to like 50 bucks a pair if you buy them off eBay or something like that. 2, you're gonna need an anvil. I got this one off Amazon for about 120 bucks. But that can also be a steep price range for somebody who's not sure if they want to get into it full yet. In which case I would recommend the 15-pound anvil from Harbor Freight. These things are in basically any Harbor Freight I've gone to. They're about 20 to 30 bucks. Me and my friend pounded on one of those things for a year before we got an upgrade to an Accio like this. That being said, they're probably not going to last you very long, so don't depend on it as a long-term anvil. You also are going to need a grinder of some sort. I personally love my angle grinder, and I actually started making knives and tools with angle grinders specifically. However, if you are willing to put a little bit more money into this, I would also recommend the 1x30 belt grinder from Harbor Freight. I've had this thing for about half a year now, and let me tell you, it is much better than the big old 4x20 something grinder that Harbor Freight also has. As you can see, I have mine down here. It's a little bit modded out. I took off the backing plate and stuff to make belt changes easier. But to be frank, this one is just superior because belt changes are easier if you don't put on this backing plate. There are more legitimate abrasive companies that you can buy from, and changing abrasives is going to be a really good way to save yourself some time and increase the quality of your work. No matter what grinding option you go with though, either angle grinder or belt sanders or even bench grinder, make sure you get a respirator. Seriously, small microscopic particles in your lungs is just not a good recipe for success. And what's the good of doing something if it kills you, right? And then obviously if you're gonna be blacksmithing, you need a forge, something to heat the metal up with. An option is a coal forge. I've never tried that personally, so I can't really give a lot of experience in that area. But as far as gas forges go, that's where I really specialize. I started with an old coffee can forge. These things are super easy to make. You get a coffee can, you get some screws for legs, and you pour in some plaster of Paris as your refractory. In fact, this very blowtorch is my first burner. It is the Burnzomatic TS4000 if you guys are wondering. I'll be dropping links in the description for all these tools, so if you're interested in any of this stuff, look down there. Another option is building your own firebrick forge. I did this and it works pretty well. Overall, I would say it cost me about 50 to 70 bucks to fully build out. But the third option, and again the one that I would recommend if you want to spend just a little bit more money to get into this, is the Mr. Volcano forge. This is the forge I currently use. It is about an $80 kit that you can get off Amazon, and it works amazingly. But also, if you are interested in that, check up here. I made a video on setting up this forge a little bit ago. If you're looking for something that just gives you a bit more of a detailed review and setup process, go check that out. Okay, so say you got your place set up, your tools all with you, you got your forge set up. How do you learn how to blacksmith? Probably the most beaten path and recommended way to do it is to find a local blacksmithing class. These are sometimes hard to find and they can be expensive though, so just be aware of that going into it. I have never actually taken a professional blacksmithing class. My friend who got me into blacksmithing took one beginner's class, but to be honest, me and him have learned almost everything we know solely through being out in the forge, learning it, and YouTube tutorials like these ones. Personally, I would not trade the way I've learned blacksmithing for anything. I feel like I'm a very hands-on learner, and though it would be nice to have a blacksmithing class, it frankly was just a little bit too much money for me to fully commit to at the time. And then finally, once you've learned how to blacksmith, once you're out in the shop doing your own stuff a little bit, how do you get better? Once again, I'm gonna hammer it into you, practice. I'm a very strong believer in the idea that if you are out doing something, you are going to learn something. A big thing too is forging to shape. Especially if you're doing knives, you are going to want to learn and teach yourself how to forge to shape. I would also go with hand sanding. Hand sanding is a pain in the butt. It takes a long time. Heck, the knife in the last video that I just released on forging a knife from some rusty scrap, that one took me about 5 hours to hand sand, guys, which may be surprising because I condensed it into about 15 seconds of the video. But it takes time to make a quality product. Don't rush it. Be patient with yourself. You're not going to be amazing on your first go, and that's alright. I have forged, I would say, up to 50, 60 knives at this point. Some of them are broken, some of them have finished really well, but the key is that I'm out there forging and grinding and getting hands-on experience with making these things. And that's my quick little crash course on blacksmithing, guys. Let me give you guys a shop tour though real quick, so then you can see how this all comes together into one cohesive idea. And also we're getting near to 200 subscribers when I'm filming this, so woo, celebration. So we get into the shed, and first thing you see is the bench grinder and the belt sander. I also got my angle grinder stored down there, and my shop back because this place gets dirty. Up above the grinding and finishing stuff, we got hammers and tongs and tools. Here's my sandpaper that I use to hand sand, my drill bits. I also got some finishing material here, lacquer, wax, all that good stuff. And then we pan over and bam, we see the forge. Heart of the shop, literally couldn't do this without it, right? And then over here we've got the finishing space. My small vise is here, I think it's a 4-inch jaw. And this is where I hand sand, this is where I drill holes. This is literally my only vise in the entire shop. I got my blowtorch for heating small stuff up. I got my epoxy, vinegar for acid etching and soaking. Oil over there, wood hardener. This is kind of where I just keep all my finishing stuff. And this is where I go in the second half of processing a tool or knife normally. I've got my hand sanding stick. These things are super nice when it comes to hand sanding. Honestly, 100% recommend using one of these. I did it for a while and it was a pain in the butt. And then needle files. These are honestly one of my more underrated tools because this is how I shape handles, this is how I make guards, this is how I just get into small spaces and add small details that really refine a knife or tool. I also got my welding helmet up there, and the rest of my welding equipment is over here underneath the table. I got a little bench that I made in my welding class, and then I've got the nice little Amazon welder under there. I haven't really welded in a hot minute, but I will probably be doing a review video on that sometime soon. But back over here, we got the abrasives hanging up. We got the respirator, and then we got the safety glasses up here, safety first, apron, and down here we've got the where I store the anvils. This is my striking anvil. This is for a heavier project, tools mostly. And that is where I store my regular anvil. It's out here right now, but every single time I'm out in the shed and locking things up, I move it in and out. I've got my quench tank down there. It's water. I need to convert it to oil. I know I'll get around to that sometime soon. And then that's where my propane is. I've got junk stored over there. And over here is where I store all my materials. I know it looks like a mess, but it makes sense in my mind. And then this is where all my metal is stored. Lots of it is rebar, lots of it is scrap. I've also got a bunch of longer pieces of rebar out back. And yeah, whenever I come out here, I open her up, I plug it in through this extension cord, and I get to work in this tiny shop, but it works. To finish this video off, I'd just like to emphasize, if you really want to get into blacksmithing, you can. Blacksmithing has been such a big part of my life, and I love it. I would recommend it to anybody who wants to try it. It's very therapeutic and a good way to get out your inner pyromaniac. But yeah, with that, like, subscribe, comment, share. I've seen a lot of support recently, and I'm very appreciative of that, guys. Take it easy. I hope you guys can set up your own shops, or I hope this helps some of you guys who already have a garage shop. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ooh, bonus segment, you get to see my filming setup, guys. It's literally just a dash mat and some pieces of fire brick and cinder blocks. I am a YouTuber.